Good to go. Hello and welcome to the 8th session of the Senate. To begin, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll now move into the land acknowledgement video. We'll now move into the swearing in of new senators and associates. So if that is you, you may come down.
It appears we don't have a handheld mic, so we're just going to make do as best we can. Okay, repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear to defend and uphold the rules and regulations set forth by the Constitution of the Associated Students of Colorado State University and will rightfully perform the duties of my office to the best of my ability. Congratulations.
And we will now move into the beginning roll call.
Speaker Taylor.
Present.
Speaker Pro Tempore Reese. Present. Parliamentarian Camberg. Present. Officer Kelly. Senator Laura Pardo. Senator Herrera. Senator Melchior. Senator Sandoval,
Sorry, present online.
Senator Bouchel,
Present.
Chair Miller,
Present.
Chair Bucknor, Senator Monanti,
Present.
Senator Evelyn Rivera, Senator McAllister Johnson,
Present.
Senator Isaacs,
Present.
Associate Senator, I'm so sorry if I mispronounced this, Archibald, Senator Gunsel,
Present.
Chair Myers,
Present.
Senator Leggett, Associate Senator Adhikari, Associate Senator Ney, Associate Senator Brannick, Associate Senator Cole Johnson,
Present.
Senator Yaslin Rivera,
Present.
Senator Alvarez, Chair Snyder, Senator Malka, Senator Tomas Sorrell, Senator Tapia Rodriguez,
Present.
Senator Falbo,
Present.
Senator Salazar,
Present.
Senator Green,
Present.
Chair Frisky,
Present.
Chair Davis,
Here.
Associate Senator Blade,
Here.
Senator Luna,
Here.
Senator Bogard, Senator Yankowski,
Here.
Senator Pickerel, Associate Senator Young, Chair Lutz,
Here.
Chair Fazy, Senator McLaughlin,
Present.
Senator Gilroy, okay, that's all the names I have on the roster, so if you're just sworn in, you're probably not on here. I don't think the sheet we use is up here, but I'll get it. So after a session or if we have recess, please come up here and put your name and everything so we can get your placard and on the attendance. Thanks.
With that, we'll move into the consent agenda. Do I see any dissent to the agenda?
Can I please motion to move Lex 5414, the LSAB Lex, to the top of the confidence business unanimously?
Do I see any dissent to that motion? Seeing none, that change will be reflected.
Thank you.
Do I see any additional dissent to the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move into Gal Award input. Do I have anybody in the Gal Award who wishes to speak at this time? Seeing none, with no guest speaker, we'll move into executive reports.
Sorry, I'm trying to get the rest of the executive out of the scaler and here.
Alrighty. Hello, everybody. My name is Braxton. If we haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, I serve as student body vice president. And I'm coming to you today with three items of business. The first is that tomorrow, if you were at the president's address at the Oval today, you'll notice that she mentioned that the Glover building is being remodeled in the coming years. And so tomorrow I have a meeting with the University Facility Fee Advisory Board to discuss what that remodel will look like, a possible kind of council of input from students, faculty, community members, that sort of thing, and kind of time. So if you have any thoughts on that, go ahead and shoot me an email, shoot me a text if you have my number, or come up to me. I'll be in the back for a little bit here. Second order of business. It is the vice president's job to oversee the Pacesetter Scholarship every year. So every year, ASCSU gets given a portion of the Albert C. Yates Scholarship to dole out to juniors or seniors who have maintained a GPA of above 3.0 and have been at CSU for over a year or or more. And so this year, that duty falls to me, and those scholarships are billed out to two individuals. This year we have $5,260 to dole out evenly between these two individuals who are considered pace setters, kind of defining and moving the needle of what it means to be a leader here at CSU. And so you are all leaders here on campus and in this space, and so I would highly encourage you to apply if you meet those requirements. The application is due not this upcoming Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, October 15th, and recipients will be recognized in the March to Victory parade and football game on homecoming, October 25th. The application also includes an interview process afterwards as well. So I'm going to pass around my little iPad. It's got a QR code on it. Go ahead and scan that. Whether or not you fit the criteria, just scan it so that you have it and can send it to folks who you think should also apply to this. So I'll pass it around. Alrighty, and then while I'm passing around, any questions about Pacesetter Scholarship? Okay, perfect. While that is going around, I'll also mention that if you do receive this scholarship, you'll be joining a really amazing, diverse, talented group of individuals who have received this scholarship in the past. One of those being current CSU Board of Governor Polly Baca, who was the first Latina to serve in both chambers of Congress, was a vice chair of the Democratic National Convention when it came to Denver, and an advisor to President Bill Clinton. So joining quite a prestigious group if you are selected for that scholarship. The third thing I'll ask of y'all, and I kind of want some input on this, thanks to popular demand, if you were here last year, I am bringing back our ASCSU Invites series. And so this is an event series where we target different audiences on campus, different groups of students on campus, and we invite them to a dinner hosted and mediated by ASCSU to get their input on what their needs and wants are on campus, and then we're able to act accordingly. It also kind of helps put a face to the ASCSU name. And so I am looking, and I think a few of you who are SCPS senators or Cultural Resource Center and ALVS senators got that email from
And the AAC,
and AAC, sorry?
Academic Advancement Center for first gen.
Yes, we can include that as well. Got an email from me today from the director, or with the directors. And so we're looking to do one targeted at those groups of students, possibly in November, possibly in another month. But I kind of want your initial reactions, feedback to ASCSU hosting one for the CRCs. We'll start with Senator Minot.
We'd recommend next semester, particularly January most often, because we are doing a lot this semester for our Heritage Month, our cultural months and all that stuff, and also next semester, I know that there's still going to be more of that. But like February is Black History Month. I don't never let y'all forget that. Like there's also going to be PETA Swana Heritage Month as well. So we cannot. It is going a lot for CRCs. So I think if we want to do it, we want to do it in a time where probably the least busiest. which would be around January.
I just have a clarifying question.
Mhm.
So, the audience of this event isn't like the senators, right? It's for like our constituents to come to you.
The senators, anybody affiliated with these offices. Yeah.
Okay. And
Any other initial reactions to that? Sweet. Where's that iPad? All right. Sweet. Keep passing that around, and that is all. Thank you.
hello, I feel like you guys are getting sick of me. I'm up here every week, but if you have not met me yet, my name is Ava Wilkins. I'm the current Director of Governmental Affairs here at ASCSU, and we have been doing a lot. So yesterday we had our vice presidential debate party here in the chambers, which was super fun. I got pizza, it was fun. This Friday, Braxton actually just mentioned Polly Baca, but I know I talked about this last week, but just to bring it up again, she is coming this Friday at 3 in the Senate chambers. Please come out and see her. She is amazing. We're going to have kind of like a discussion about her life and her journey, and then we'll have a Q&A to ask her any questions. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. So please show up, bring your friends. That'll be good. And then next week is National Voter Education Week, and it's kind of our final push to do in-person voter registration. We have to stop doing paper October 15th. So that will kind of be our last big push. Make sure you, your friends, everyone is up to date. This is a really critical election, as I think we've all been witnessing, especially after the debate. So please make sure that you are registered to vote. And then next Wednesday, October 9th, we are partnering with the Strayer Center to host a ballot forum. This year, there are a lot of different things on the ballot, and we'll be covering 3. So we will be doing one, a local one, and then we'll be doing 2 state ones. It's on school choice and ranked choice voting are both going to the ballots this year. So that will be from 4 to 6 in LSC, I think room 324, but I might check on that. But yes, that is next Wednesday. So if you could come to that before Senate, that would be amazing. And that is everything I have right now. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. I hope you are all doing amazing. It's such a full house today. We love to see it. So thanks for being here. And just want to acknowledge the time, space, and energy that it takes to contribute to our organization, and we appreciate you. I quickly just want to talk to you guys about Cans Around the Oval. So Cans Around the Oval is a tradition that Rams Against Hunger and CSU have participated in for 38 years. It is a time where we cultivate awareness and then donate to the Larimer County Food Bank through a bunch of different teams coming together to donate cans, money, time, things like that. And so wanted to just put a couple of events on your calendar and on your radar. First, we would love if you all would sign up with our team. We have a team for ASCSU. We're raising money. We also have a donation box out by the front desk. So if you want to bring any cans or non-perishable items in, please do. We would love to have that. The 2 dates that I wanted to put on your radar are October 12th. So October 12th, we are going to be tabling at King Soopers. We're going to collect some food. That's where we get a lot of our donations around canned items. And so we'd love for you to join us if you want to come out. It'll be a really fun time. There's going to be a bunch of us out there. It's going to be good vibes, and we're going to do something good for the community. And then the other thing that I wanted to put on your radar was conversations. So conversations are different presentations that groups around campus around working on food security present about, and our own ASCSU Basic Needs and Housing Caucus are going to be doing a conversation on October 14th, and that's from 12 to 1. We'd love for you guys to join us, and also if you register with our team, each person that participates gets 50 points towards our team. And so it's a really good way to get some points for our team, make sure that we're competing, especially because ASCSU has a long history of collaboration with the Rams Against Hunger program and our food pantry on campus. We fund a lot of the pantry, and we do a lot with our pocket pantries across campus. So we'd love to see you there. Come talk to me if you want any more information, but I'm also going to send out a mass email to all of you guys tomorrow with those dates so you can put them in your calendar. But once again, I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks.
Hello. Okay. So, quick survey. Who doesn't know? Oh, okay. I am Jakai Nunley. I apologize for not being here more recently. I was experiencing a series of just unfortunate events, migraines is what I'm referring for these first few weeks. And so I am glad to be back in the space at 6:30 on Wednesdays with you all. So thank you for being here. I serve as the Chief of Staff for the Executive Branch. So I work with great people like Ava, Haley, Braxton, Georgia, and so many other great names that are in this space and allow us to cause great things to occur. What I'm going to speak about today are two things that I'm working on when I'm not sending mass emails to you and everybody else in ASCSU. So if you haven't received one of those mass emails from me, I mean, consider yourself blessed. That's what I do a lot. But what I'll share today is that I have been working on programming, specifically an initiative called Organizational Wellness. There's a QR code for this on my door, and I'm going to make time with your Senate leadership to come present to you about this formally. But I just want to make sure that you have access to these resources before and ahead of time before I have time to come present. So there's a QR code on the Chief of Staff door that takes you to like the pitch deck for organizational wellness. And it tells you about all the comprehensive programming that we're doing to make sure that all members of ASCSU have access to programs that keep them well beyond like what wellness is, beyond health. And so it focuses on professional development, your general health and wellness, like nutrition, eating right, working out, like all the things. And then academic, we're working with our director of academics, Cozy Ozor, who's not here today. But he's working on the academic portion of programming today, and so we're excited about that and the installments that will become because of his good work. So I don't want to babble about that too much today, especially because I'm going to kind of take some more of your time soon here and present to you about it shortly. So I want to tell you that that is available. Please look into that. And if you have any questions, email me always. Second thing is I am working on planning. I do a bunch of fun stuff. I'm working on planning a cabinet or like an all ASCSU Spirit Week soon. And so what I was thinking is days like where we all come in and we dress alike, or we wear our ASCSU or CSU gear. Maybe we do a ramp ride on Friday, right? Some community activity. And so whatever that looks like, I think that if you guys add to that, I would love to build on the ideas that we all have to build a week that looks like a bunch of fun for all of us as ASCSU members so we can connect and engage in different ways all throughout the different branches. And so please email me if you don't know where to find my email. It's the ASCSU website. If you have a great idea, like take a shower tomorrow morning, like, oh my God, we need to do a ASCSU We All Wear Red Day or something. Email me, okay? I want to hear that stuff. So please provide that feedback. And that's all I have. I'm not going to get up here and babble too much today, but I will in future weeks. So nice to meet you all. Thank you for being here. That's all I have.
We'll now move into judicial. Okay. With no judicial reports, we'll move into legislative reports, beginning with officers. I just have a quick thing I would say, kind of on the topic of the legislation that we've had the last couple of weeks with elections, and some things that people have wanted to look at changing with that. I've had a few people contact me about getting involved in maybe some upcoming legislation. So we will be having a meeting on next Monday at 2 o'clock in the ASCSU conference room. If you'd like to be involved in those discussions, we'll just be looking at elections and like the Constitution, the elections code, and potential edits that we want to make to that. But that's all that I have.
Yeah, a few things. I got a gap.
I have some fun announcements. The first is that I've been listening to what y'all had to say about getting information from the weekly email kind of consolidated in a few places. So I've been working on some accessibility. I'm going to switch mics so I can pull this over to the screen. We'll be organizing this just a little bit more over the next coming weeks, but the first thing I want to show y'all is that our ASCSU website now has a button for this week in ASCSU, and when you click on it, it takes you to our weekly newsletter and all the stuff in it so that you can access that from a web browser if you don't want to go searching through your email. We also have on our Senate website, you get a little preview of recent newsletters, and then this newsletter archive that has the full context of everything on this page, and then these clickable links to get to anything if you want to refer to stuff that was sent out in previous weeks, so that you don't have to dig through your email to find that. Right now, it still operates, these kind of operate like posts, like a blog post, so it will still like download rather than a preview. But like I said, we'll be working out the kinks of that in the coming weeks. So just want to let you know that that's there. That's a tool that's available to help kind of increase some transparency as well, so that you don't have to be on the weekly email to see what we're doing, what events are coming up, what's happening in meetings and on agendas. So there is that. I also have, has anyone here heard of the RAM Police Advisory Board? Okay, crickets, awesome. So the RAM Police Advisory Board is looking for student input, basically in efforts to increase transparency and accountability within our campus community. Colorado State University Police Department is creating a RAM Police Advisory Board. This board will allow campus community members to advise the chief of police on how current events happening within the local and national police community relationship are affecting our campus and its police community relationship. So members of the board will focus on new ways to promote positive interactions with our community. Our police chief is really focusing a lot on mental health. They just hired a second person to be a co-responder who's a mental health professional. That's been modeled in a couple places in the country. Denver is one of the first communities to make that happen. I think their program is called STARS. They also do it in Oregon as a new way to like kind of separate things that should be legal action versus mental health crisis, and kind of separating those so that we can have a professional who's trained to help with mental health interventions. So if you're interested in serving on that board, I think it's once a month. I think it's the third Thursday, so it's a relatively low time commitment. They would be thrilled to hear any student input. Because we're talking about higher education, we want to hear student voices. So if you are interested in that, shoot me an email. I would love to pass along your information and get y'all connected. Last thing, with Cancer on the Oval, this is a really awesome time. Our partnership with Larimer County Food Bank has a unique relationship in that they essentially can double the value of every dollar donated that's done through the university. So your $5 donation then turns into equates to $10 worth of food and groceries that get to come back around to Larimer County and of course to students through all that. So I donated once last year. They mail me a lot of stuff, just forwarding you. But it's amazing, and in this community, that really makes a huge, huge impact. So I really encourage y'all to get involved with the cans around the oval. Okay, I think that's everything I have.
Howdy, y'all. Okay. First and foremost, BSOF. BSOF recently had an event with swimmingly. A lot of different RSOs on campus came. Were more informed in terms of the different types of grants that BSOF offers. If you have any questions on BSOF or anything, you can ask me. I'm the Senate liaison, or you can go ahead and ask our Director of Finance, Tangia. She's really, really, really cool. Snaps in the bag for Tangia. Amount of respect. Yeah, BSOF. Woo! Secondly, mock Senate. So mock Senate has been a thing that's been floating around for a while now. It's scheduled for October 10th here, 4:30 to 7. There will be a flyer sent out in the weekly newsletter this upcoming week. Be there or be square. Next, attendance policy and strikes. If you don't come here, send me a text, send me an email, send Hayden a text or email. Don't get a strike for not being here. It doesn't make much sense. And then in terms of committee hours, if you haven't been to a committee between last Wednesday and this Wednesday, you're going to get a really cool email from me with a strike, and it's going to be sad. I understand that legislation wasn't sent out to committees, but in the future, if you just want to go ahead and still CC, email a committee chair something so that you have your hour logged, please do that. Avoid strikes. Lastly, if you're new, go ahead and come up to the front, kind of as our lovely clerk was saying earlier. Meet me so that I can get your contact information and we can schedule your onboarding meeting. Thank you.
Committee and Officer Kelly, do you have anything you want to say? No. Okay. Then committee and caucus reports, beginning with Chairman Miller.
Hi. So in our past meeting, we elected a vice chair, which is Senator Joyce Luna. She's super cool. She's gonna be chairing the next meeting because I unfortunately can't be there. So that's super cool. That's tomorrow, 12:30 to 1:30. Show up, please. Also, I just wanted to express some gratitude for the people in my committee. I think it's just become a really good environment for collaboration and discussion, and I have been really excited to host committee every week because of these people. So I just wanted to express how thankful I am for that kind of environment that you guys have fostered. You guys know who you are. Thank you. I yield.
Thank you. Chair Meyer.
DEI, sorry, DEI committee met yesterday from 1 to 2 in the conference room. If you haven't met a DEI committee, it's really fun. It's super cool. The best people. It's the best committee. We met yesterday and saw Lex 5414, which is the LSAT Lex. We made no edits and discharged it. And we're still looking for secretary and accessibility officers. So if you're interested in being one of those for the DEI committee, please let me know and come to the committee next week from 1 to 2 on Tuesday. Thanks.
Chair Davis.
Housing caucus, super fun. We did not meet last week, unfortunately, but there were some people who just hung out in the conference room, and so they did get some work done. So that was good. But we are meeting this week, this Friday from 9 to 10 a.m. If you're gonna come to Housing Caucus ever, come this week. We're gonna do some resetting, laying some groundwork, goal setting, and it's gonna be a nice reset, I think, in a super productive manner, I hope. So if you're gonna come to Housing Caucus, please come this week if you want to be a part of those conversations. I appreciate any voice that comes into Housing Caucus, even if you just want to come be I don't like that. Come tell me. Also to reiterate what Georgia said, Cancer on the Oval, October 14th, 12 to 1 is a conversation. It's us, Basic Needs, and Rams Against Hunger Food Pantry. We're all going to be presenting as one, talking about the interconnectedness between food insecurity and housing insecurity, and hosting discussion questions about that. So if you have any interest or opinions or anything, or if you want to hear other people's opinions, come to that. It'll be cool. I'll yield.
Chair Forsky.
I don't have much. Just basically we're working on some of the cool things. It's 12 to 1. Oh my god. We're at my own caucus time. So please come to Women in Social Justice Caucus. We have a lot of people that are in the room that just kind of tune in and sit with us. I absolutely love that. Please do that, but also we'd love some people to also intentionally show up. That would be cool too. Yeah, I will maybe get some snacks. Who knows? You'll just have to find out. All right, that's it.
Chair Fraser.
Hey y'all. Just want to apologize for missing last week. I was feeling a bit under the weather, but Budget Committee met this week on Monday, and unfortunately we had no bills to look at, so we kind of just floated a few ideas, and I learned everyone's favorite geographical thing. Senator Gonzalez is codes, and Senator Isis is smart canyons. But yeah, that's about it. I'd love to see anyone there. Love to hear ideas.
Chair Lutz.
Hi everyone. Internal meets Mondays 3 to 4 in the conference room. This previous Monday we didn't see any legislation. We just talked and then everyone got the video. So yeah, come to committee. It's kind of cool sometimes. I think I'm a good chair, but anyway.
Moving on now to Senator and Associate Senator reports. Chair Forsky.
Okay, bear with me for a second. I'm getting it pulled up. But this month is it's right here, beautiful. Relationship Violence Awareness Month. So if you see, I'm wearing a little purple ribbon. You can get those at the Safe Center to support and show your solidarity for anyone who has experienced relationship violence. We have a lot of fun things coming up. I guess it's a weird way to. Anyways, tomorrow is one of our biggest days. We're going to be tabling on the plaza. I'll be there. Lauren will be there. It'll be a lot of fun. We're basically reintroducing everyone to our center because we changed our name completely and have revamped most everything. So it's going to be amazing. And then we also have introducing Safe Center in the evening from 6 to 7:30 in the Never Know Summer Ballroom. You do need to RSVP to this. But we're just going to be, I'll give you the little rundown. It says, after 6 months soft rollout, we're ready to finally reintroduce ourselves to campus. Come celebrate our new name, one made possible by 15 years of committed advocacy by hardworking folks who came before us and consistent student feedback seeking wider inclusion. There will be a dinner and everyone should show up. It's going to be a really great community building event, and you don't have to be a part of the Safe Center to join in. And then, let's see, October 8th, we have a discussion and Q&A with a researcher. This is drop-in. It's from 6 to 7:30 in LSC 386. And then we also have the Petal Project coming up, which is really, really cool. An artist is coming in. It's basically a ceramics workshop to create little petals that will go on this interactive art piece to support survivors. It's really amazing. All this information is on the Safe Center Instagram. If you need any access to that, just let me know. Let's see. Am I missing anything? Okay, I think that's it. I yield my time.
Thank you. Senator Busha.
Hi. Senator for APAC. We have a couple events this week. Pacific Club is having an ice cream social October 3rd, which is tomorrow, from 5 to 6 in the APAC office. And then Friday, there's a henna event from 3 to 5, also in the APAC office, for anybody who's interested.
Thank you. Senator Gordon.
Hi. So I am still planning for Week of Love, which will be coming up in February. I am still doing planning for that, and I need volunteers and people to help me. So if you want to help me, if you know somebody who wants to help me, please send them my way. That's all I need, and I yield. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, we'll move into conference business with 2 hours on the conference clock, beginning with the LSAT labs.
All right, Lex 5414. This Lex aims to improve the Legislative Strategy Advisory Board bylaws and have the changes shown in the ASCSU Constitution.
How do I motion to make it?
You can just make the edit.
Do I need to say that?
Yeah.
Do we need to go into the committee as a whole?
No. You have oversight,
Okay.
so, okay,
We have new senators, so we'll just talk about this really quick. When you're presenting legislation, you have author's rights, so you can make changes on the floor. While your bill is, or Lex or whatever, your legislation is in between committees, you can't make changes. You make changes either in committee or on the floor. So our wonderful Ava here can make edits on the floor before we give this its final read, right? I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's yours?
Okay, it has come to my attention that there's kind of a point of clarification that I would like to add on this. So through conversations, if you could scroll down to the non-ASCSU member part. Yes, right there, right there. Okay, so it says like voting members shall consist, and then it breaks. Wait, hold on. Actually, I lied. I'm sorry. Can you scroll down to who appoints them? There we go. Okay, so we have in there the executive branch appointments and the Senate branch appointments, but not the non-ASCSU member appointments. So traditionally, this has also been done by the president, but I just want that to be reflected so that that's clear. Can I just read this to you, or do you just want to type it? What would be easier?
Send me a message in Teams or email.
I don't know.
Actually, email?
Yeah, well, you know what? Sorry, I should have done this beforehand. Let me see here.
Change this number too, so it reflects.
We'll have to put that in with the updated Senate template, the legislation template. That's the
Yeah, there's a few things.
I just sent that to you with no subject, but it should just come from me. Oh, and it should say non-ASCSU members will be. So basically, this will be copied and pasted in, but it will read not the non-ASCSU members will be appointed by the ASCSU president with the consent and advice of the chair and vice chair of the Legislative Strategic Advisory Board. And we have legislation coming up too that will involve Senate as that vice chair. So there will still be that kind of checks and balances process.
I also see something. You say members, but all students are members of ASCSU, it should say.
Wait, where? The 4 students who are non-members.
Yeah, it should be officials.
Okay.
If that's okay.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we're all members of ASCSU technically.
Sure.
Okay.
Is that that's what we discussed?
Yeah, that's fine. Do you want to take out the one about Senate appointments because of the other ones? Or just keep that?
However you think that flows. The Lexa Hayden just sent also said that part. That just final passage, so it's kind of I can't think of the word, but
Wait, so you have another piece of legislation that has it on there already?
Yeah, I have a Lex will be voted on tonight. They can add it.
Or I'll just leave it there.
Okay.
Just leave it there. Let's see. That seems easier.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry that was like in real time. I should have said that earlier. But does anyone have any questions, or do I need to like have a question discussion period for that?
So what will happen is it'll be discussion and debate on the passage of the legislation.
Okay.
So yeah, we can open up 10 minutes of discussion and debate on this with Senator Minanti.
I'm pretty sure we're chill with this. We're all, we're not seeing anything, so motion for discussion.
Does that motion have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Any abstentions? Then with that, we'll move into voting on this. Senator Minanti.
The motion to approve with unanimous consent.
Do I see any dissent to that motion? Seeing none, this Lex passes with unanimous consent.
Thank you.
We'll now move into old business, beginning. Oh, this is. Fine.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Zoom members.
Thank you. We'll be starting as Hayden started to say with Lex 5412, amending the terms of office for ASCSU officials.
Also, just want to say I'm so sorry for those on Zoom who I was not screen sharing with until now. Okay, we have Lex 5412, amending the terms of office for ASCSU officials. This Lex aims to establish consistency in the start and end dates of the terms of ASCSU officials.
Thank you. Did any committees make any edits to this piece of legislation? Chair Myers.
Yes, so DEI made an edit to this bill, in the second and third, there are four clauses. Um, we put in that the Speaker of the Senate shall serve one term beginning at the one date they're sworn in until May 31st. It had originally said, it had originally said that. And we just wanted to allow, last year we had to reconvene for an emergency session of the Senate, just for various reasons. And we wanted to allow that to happen, I guess. And so we just put that in there so that that could happen. Any other members who are in the committee can offer more insight into that. I yield to Senator Benalti.
Also, that's when y'all gas stop getting paid. So it also coincides with a lot with what exec does, where the president's out on the 31st of May, and it coincides with the financial year when y'all stop getting paid for your positions.
Thank you. Sorry. Speaker Taylor, do you accept these edits?
No, I do not, and I will explain that just a little bit. The Constitution has. Let me take it back a step. The way that this was written was to have consistency within the legislative branch of ASCSU. The beginning and end of the term of a senator and associate senator is until the next Senate is seated, and so I wanted that to be consistent among Senate leadership positions. And then on the point of that having of not wanting to have a situation that something is vetoed on the last session, so then we have to have an emergency session to override that veto. That is already kind of accounted for within the Constitution and the structure that we have with that. So that's not something that would happen. So to keep that.
The point of information, I'm just curious where in the Constitution it says that associates and senators lose their senatorship at the end of the previous administration, and also, I say end, okay, let me clarify. Would, in essence, why we wouldn't be able to do that, because it would basically still be removed at the previous administration, and we would only in our previous decisions.
Yes, so that is section 203 of the Constitution. That's the body of the Senate, subsection H. It says, the term of office for senators shall begin with their being sworn in at a Senate session and will last until the new Senate is seated. Does that answer that question?
Vaguely. Heart emoji.
Would you like any further clarification?
It's just not making sense in my mind, because in my mind, the way that I'm understanding it is that after that sentence is over, point blank period, never can resurrect again, not possible for even an emergency session to happen. But in those situations where those do happen, it's technically that is still the previous Senate then, so why wouldn't we be able to do that? Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Was that a point of clarification or point of information? Okay, point of information. How does this work with getting paid?
Yeah, so the way that is now is the pay period of ASCSU begins in June, and so even though, and we kind of saw this this last year, it's just a little bit of a difference with when somebody begins doing the job and when the pay begins. And so the Senate met and I was sworn in and all of these kind of people were elected on the beginning of May, and so then we had a little bit of time then just between that, just because of when the academic year ends and when kind of the fiscal end of things begins. And that's the same thing with like executive cabinet, of just kind of when people begin holding the office and when the pay begins. Does that make sense? I feel like that doesn't make sense when I'm saying that. Makes sense in my mind though.
For a point of clarification, May 31st is the end of the fiscal year, if that helps anyone.
So it's just ending it on the 31st. That's what. Okay. So that does make sense.
Okay.
Thank you. At least to me.
And with that, we'll go ahead and enter the discussion debate where we can all understand it more. By the first race blocker, Senator Minolta.
Hi, it's me again. Yeah, I'm still more partial to the 31st. Can't do nothing now because no, you're not going into committee or whatever. No, you're not. I do not. Yeah, I'm still partial to the 31st because I feel like that makes more sense overall and does allow us a lot more leeway and cushion in the event where we do need to do something urgently, like regardless. Anyway, I yield.
Okay, so speaking then a little bit more of kind of that issue. The Senate can only do things for that Senate. So the old Senate could not elect the positions of this Senate. That's this Senate that elects these positions. So we will not elect positions in the 55th Senate. They'll have to do that. Same kind of thing. The 55th Senate will not be able to go back and undo a veto of things that happen in this Senate. And so that's kind of an issue that's elsewhere within the Constitution and the bylaws and not exactly relevant to this edit.
Senator Minolta.
Rebuttal. But I say that I disagree on that point since an emergency session is focusing more on what the previous Senate and it's still within what the previous Senate is doing. It's bringing back that previous Senate while we still can to make those decisions and those changes for that Senate and whatnot, as well as even if this is this is impacting the Constitution. So I still argue it is pretty relevant that we discuss those things out, especially when it comes to positions and whatnot. Because if we don't have a speaker, we can't have a Senate or emergency Senate or anything and whatnot. And that's why I think it's important that we do have that leeway.
Thank you, Chair Davis. I guess, but are we allowed to have two speakers who are sworn in at the same time?
Okay, so point of clarification. Technically, we've done that multiple times in the past, where there's speaker-elect and then speaker currently. So vaguely, yeah, it's not against, but you know.
To clarify, they're not speakers of the same Senate. So there's not two simultaneous speakers. There's a like for example, Ava was our speaker of the 53rd Senate and Hayden was the speaker of the 54th Senate. So they were not, while there was overlap when we had an emergency session and then the beginning of 54th Senate at the end of last year, they were not simultaneously speaker of the same body. They were speakers of their respective bodies. Does that help?
That does help. That makes sense. And I guess I think it's chill with 31st because it's not currently. Hayden, did you accept the 31st edit?
No.
I was just gonna say the author rejected that edit, so I'm gonna make that reflected on the screen now.
Chair Frisky,
Is your placard raised or okay? Cool. Thank you. Does anyone else have anything to say during discussion today? With that, we'll enter a period of voting. If you don't want to vote by roll call, you should raise your placard and motion for something. Thank you, Chair Davis.
Motion to do this via voice vote.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Nay.
Any abstentions? With that, this piece of legislation passes.
Wait, was that the vote for the voice vote or the vote for the?
The motion that passed was actually the voice vote, and I'm 100% right 100% of the time. With that, we'll be voting by voice. All those in favor of passing this piece of legislation say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Nay.
Any abstentions?
Nay.
I mean, yes, division. With that, we'll be voting on this by placard. All those in favor, raise your placard. If you're an associate and both of the representatives for your college are here, you also can't vote. You can go ahead and put your placard down. Anyone does no equals raise your placard. If you vote, wait.
Oh my gosh. All opposed. That was the word I was looking for.
All those opposed, please raise your placard. Thank you. You can go ahead and put your placards down. Abstentions, please raise your placard.
Wait. Yeah.
With a vote of 15 to 2 to 8, this passes.
Wait. Yeah. Okay, just kidding. We're good.
We'll now be moving into Lex 5413, amending the method of appointing LSAT members.
Oh, not that one. Oh, 13.
All right, Lex 5413, amending the method of appointing LSAB members. This Lex aims to amend the method of appointing voting members of the Legislative Strategy Advisory Board as outlined in the Constitution for increased consistency.
Thank you. Were there any edits made by any of the committees? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and enter a period of discussion debate by first raise placard. Chair Davis.
Once again, a point of information. Could you scroll down to the last therefore? Oh, sorry. Yeah, that one. Oh, I did not see that edit in the agenda, which is why I was confused because in the agenda it says Senate branch appointments shall lead the ASCSU Senate, and that was confusing to me. But I see that. So I do.
If that was not made, if that was not sent out in the weekly email, could we have, do you want me to read it out loud or the author to read it out loud? Cool, I'll do that. All right, so the edit here made is the whole therefore reads that article 6, Section 603, LSAT, subsection E, which currently reads, Senate branch appointments shall be elected from the ASCSU Senate, be amended to state, Senate branch appointments shall be, and this is the edit, made by the ASCSU Speaker of the Senate and shall be ratified by the ASCSU Senate.
And this was an accepted edit by you?
That's my edit I'm making with the Lex.
Okay,
So yes.
awesome. Cool, yeah. Cool. Discussion debate by first race blocker. Still stands. Seven or multi.
5, motion the previous question.
Do I hear any dissent? Hearing none, we'll move into a period of voting. Senator Baldo.
Motion had this done be unanimous consent.
Do I hear any dissent? Hearing none, this motion, this piece of legislation passes. We'll now be moving into resolution 5402, calling for an establishment of a school of law and policy within the CSU system.
All right. Resolution 5402, calling for an establishment of a school of law and policy within the CSU system. This resolution calls on the Board of Governors of the Colorado State University system to establish an official task force or committee aimed at establishing a school of law and policy gaining accreditation by the American Bar Association to further the accessibility for students seeking a law degree within Colorado. This resolution also calls on Colorado State University to build up the current programs in the interim.
Thank you. Were there any edits by any of the committees? Coolio. Seeing none, we'll enter a period of discussion debate by first race blocker. Senator Baldo.
I think this is very important. CSU, I personally consider to be the premier Colorado university. And in order to keep pace with that, we need to offer more programs as opposed to 2 colleges with law schools within Colorado. So I think it's necessary. It may take a few years, but at the very least, it gets the ball rolling. And I will give you this question.
Do I hear a second? Do I hear any dissent? Hearing dissent, we'll do this by voice. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Nay. Any abstentions?
Nay.
It's a vision I heard in the background. It's moving my placard. All those in favor, please raise your placard.
Okay, until we confirm, please keep your hands or placards up. Okay.
You can go ahead and put your placards down. All of those opposed, please raise your placard. Thank you. Abstentions, please raise your placard. With a vote of 17 to 3 to 5, we'll go ahead and move into discussion and debate. Wait. We'll move into a period of voting. you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Do I hear any dissent? Hearing none, we'll vote on this ballot placard. All those in favor, please raise your placard.
Wait, I counted this the second time.
I'm sorry, I can't count.
Maybe I'm the one who can't count. Oh my god, okay.
I counted. I got 20. It really doesn't matter. It's gonna do majority either way.
Wait, no, that's not. It's fine. Raise it again. All the way to the sky, please. Okay, first number.
All those in favor of Brooke saying that there's 20 placards up right now, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All those opposed, please raise your placard.
To the bill.
To the bill. Cool. Abstentions, please raise your placard. Much easier number, thank you.
So far nothing on mine. So okay.
For the count of 20 to 0 to 5, this bill passes. Woo! Resolution. With that, we'll now be moving into Lex 5408, Bylaw Transparency Act, and this will be in its second reading.
All right, Lex 5408, Bylaw Transparency Act. This Lex would make it a requirement for the various branches, committees, boards, and other internal entities to have their bylaws posted on the ASCSU website and ASCSU archives.
Thank you. Were there any edits made by any of the committees? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and enter the period of discussion and debate by the first raised placard. Senator Melty.
Love open and honest communication. Let's send it to the next committee's most egregious question.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Do I hear any dissent? Hearing none, we'll be voting if this piece of legislation continues on. Unanimous consent. Do I hear any dissent? Hearing none, this will be sent out to University Affairs. We'll now be moving into Lex 5409, the Internship Transparency Act.
We're
All right, thank you for your patience. Lex 5409, Internship Transparency Act. This Lex aims to codify ASCSU Supreme Court Opinion 5102, requiring an executive branch intern to have job descriptions, as well as requiring interns to go through the Senate ratification process.
Thank you. Internal affairs, were there any edits made to this piece of legislation?
Don't think so.
Madam Parliamentarian, can you check?
I absolutely can check.
I think we should codify our own like waiting music. It's the idea.
I don't think we need to codify that.
No, I want it to be long term. Longevity matters.
I would like it to be yeah, with the musical music, so that could be fun.
Oh, okay. It was not released from committee. It says here on the notes to be held until judicial opinion can be issued.
We, in talking with Speaker Taylor, decided to, hold on, what are the words? We decided to not have the judicial opinion anymore, because we found it, oh, I'm so sorry, my brain's dead. Yeah, we decided, I yield to Senator Minotti.
I actually have more of a point of information. Can we release it from committee if we, because
Hold out if I'm not mistaken.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say, since nobody sent anything to the parliamentarian that it was released from committee and that your committee is not currently convened, that it hasn't been released from committee. So we'll see this next week. How about that?
yeah, that would make more sense.
We could have a motion to pull that out of committee and see it today.
I make that motion.
Do I hear a second? Do I hear a dissent? Hearing dissent, we'll go ahead and vote on this by voice.
It does require a 2/3 majority.
We'll vote on it by placard. All those in favor, please raise your placard. To clarify, it's to pull this out of committee. Please don't go up and down. Confirmed, confirmed. If you are in favor, raise your placard now. Also, if you're raising your hand, raise it really high so I'm not confused. I'm looking at you both. Thank you. You can go ahead and put your placards down. All those opposed, please raise your placard. Thank you. Any abstentions, please raise your placard. Thank you. With that, this piece of legislation will be pulled from internal affairs. Chairperson, point of information, was there already submitted like a judicial review or opinion?
No.
Okay, thank you. Awesome. With that, there were no edits made, right? Yep, confirmation. Cool, cool, cool. We'll be entering a period of discussion and debate by first race locker. Senator Monty.
I already know this is probably going to get passed, but I will say I do feel it weird. This is just perfect. This is all my own thoughts, so just pulling it out instead of just waiting. I still think it's pertinent that we did talk about it a little bit more in committee. But that's just me. But yeah. Anyone else on the speakers list?
Yes.
All right, then guess I'll yield in that regard then.
Thank you. Senator Isaacs.
I agree with Senator Minotti. I would like to get the Supreme Court opinion on it before we move on to voting or anything.
May I ask for clarification on what the judicial opinion would be?
If I'm not mistaken, it would be. Hold on, let me pull it back up.
And if you could after also clarify how your conversation resolved whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Apologies. It was about the timeline for ratifications. So, I'm just rereading the wonderful notes taken by Senator Minotti, which I deeply appreciate.
They are really good notes.
Very solid. It would be how long after they were approved or taken in as an intern, how long after that would they have to be approved by Senate? If there was concerns that it would make, if there was the ratification by Senate immediately or close to their approval as an intern, that it would be a barrier for people to come in and become an intern because of how easy the process is to become an intern. So there was wanting Supreme Court opinion around just the timeline of that. And then I had met with Speaker Taylor about this. We had talked it out, and he had decided that he did not believe, or we decided that it was not needed for a Supreme Court opinion. But if anyone disagrees, then you can submit that opinion. But we talked it out, and we felt that it would just take extra time on this piece of legislation. So, does that answer people's questions? Any more questions?
I will also say, for clarification on my previous discussion, it's not that it's not that the judicial opinion was what I was seeking after, though I would like to have it still. It was more along the fact that it just got pulled because of conversations between the chair and speaker that didn't reach the ears of the committee. That's why I felt iffy on that. But that's just me. I don't know about y'all. So yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna add a point of clarification to that. That was discussions had in committee, was that 2 weeks ago now, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Chair Lutz and I had some discussions about that and decided that we thought that a judicial opinion wasn't needed, and so I think the plan was to discharge that out of committee this week, but then that must have just kind of got lost in the sauce a little bit. So then that's kind of why that happened, is because it was held in committee pending some discussions on that, but then since we kind of felt that didn't need to happen, then it was to be pulled out of committee.
May I reply?
There's a speakers list that I just silenced it. Okay. Do you want me to add you to the speakers list?
It's only about the one thing, but so I don't think it's important enough for the speakers list.
Clear. Thank you. Chair Davis.
I think that it's maybe consensus that we want a judicial opinion of some sort. The Chief Justice is here. If I yield to you, is that okay? Can I do that? We get one right now. I'll yield.
Well, it wouldn't be like.
It would be like an actual opinion, but it would be the opinion of a judicial member who might know more.
a little bit of unofficial.
Could I suggest that it's instead of asking for a judicial opinion on the specific thing, it's instead, do we need a judicial opinion in your review as a question? Thank you, Morgan. Also shout out Morgan.
Hello, everyone. My name is Morgan Wright. I'm the Chief Justice. I would need to see. I'm a little confused on what the specific question is that you have. Could you say it one more time?
Yeah, it was the how long after an intern was approved do they have to be ratified by the Senate?
Okay, so I think that's up to you guys. If you can, so the thing that constitutes an opinion is can you back that up with a piece of, with a text expert from one of our documents that you have questions on. So if there's something in the Constitution you say, I don't really understand, or can I, like the timeline, if like show me the referenda or whatever you're talking about in the Constitution that talks about ratification, and then it'll be our job to dig through it and come up with an opinion. So if you want an opinion, we could do it. But if you don't worry about it. I guess what I should ask is, will an opinion help the process of you moving this legislation along? And does a timeline, and you also could file that later, I guess is what I'm saying too. If you want to pass this now, you could file it later if you run into something. I mean, it's up to you.
So, yeah, sorry, I yield. Thank you. Chair Davis, do you have anything else?
Kind of information. This is on its second or third reading.
This would be on its second reading.
Okay. I would like to motion the previous question so we can send it back to committee so we can get that conversation going in a more productive space. Beginning.
Do I hear any discussion?
Can you restate, will you restate what you're asking for, this, if there's dissent on, since there was chatter amongst the Senate chambers?
I motioned the previous question with unanimous consent.
Do I hear any dissent to this motion? Hearing none, this will go ahead and be sent over to DEI. We'll now be moving into. Brooke's not talking anymore.
Okay, I'm back. We'll move into new business with Bill 5405.
Here we go. All right, this is Bill 5415, a change to the executive and legislative job descriptions. This bill aims to add the following job descriptions to all executive positions. Member is required to attend at least one Senate committee or caucus meeting per semester.
Okay. Hi guys. I've never done this before, but there are some inconsistencies in there that I'll let you guys like fix in whatever committee you want. It's actually Bill 5405. Is that 5415? Not true. Also, just for transparency reasons, I did have some meetings with some people in executive branch, and we came to the conclusion that for consistency and fairness, this bill also contains a change to legislative job descriptions, i.e. everyone here, where we attend one cabinet meeting per semester. Again, this is per semester. It's 1 hour. And this would act as any other committee or caucus commitment. If you cannot fulfill that commitment for any reason, you would take it to Speaker Pro Tempore and or Chief of Staff, and you would break that out in a way that is fair to you. So there's that. There's always that option. I just wanted to say some of the reasons I wrote this. I think that it's a way to increase transparency between branches. We do work together a lot, and I know that sometimes things get lost a little bit, especially when it's going through committees and it's in between weeks. We have busy weeks. So I just want to increase that transparency around what happens in here and what happens in committee. And then more consistency among like edits and decisions, so we're not like having to spend like the entire time on discussion debate or anything like that when it could have been done in committee. And I think it adds a lot of new voices and opinions. I think that everyone in executive has a lot of experience that's different than ours and still really valuable experience. And I think it gives them a place to implement that and to like have new opinions and new ideas that would be beneficial to any piece of legislation that goes through committees. I think caucuses are another good alternative route, which is why it's
Then we'll begin 10 minutes of Q&A with no? Okay. Beginning 10 minutes of Q&A with the first talker. Okay, seeing none, this will be sent to Internal Affairs, University Affairs, DEI. And the Senate will now move into ending roll call.
Question.
Yeah.
Where will it get sent on the second read?
It's just a bill, so it's only this one time.
Oh, done. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. So many lessons.
Would it? Oh, go ahead.
Motion to use ending roll or beginning roll call as ending roll call with an amendment or with no, but like with the people that came in. Just Enoch say it.
Motion to use beginning roll call as ending roll call with the amendment that people who arrived mid-Senate session can be added to the list.
Do I see any dissent to that motion? Okay, seeing none, we'll do that, and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.
Isn't it done with more than an hour?
Come if you're just sworn in and don't have a placard or on the attendance list, please come up right now and put your name on here so we can get you a placard.